What's up, guys? My name is Miles.
And my name is Fez.
And this is The Commodity. And today we are reacting to Top 10 Scary Filipino Urban Legends Part 2.
We will put the link to the Part 1 up here.
Yes.
We did it a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Probably a couple months.
Before we even really started talking about the Philippines.
We jumped into it because he's a big fanatic for scary movies and stuff like that. So
this is really intriguing to me, especially with these being urban legends. So there could or could not be some truth behind them.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So if you guys are ready, and if you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready. And let us know if these urban legends are true, or if you know about them, or if you have other ones that they don't say, basically.
Yeah, and if there's any videos on specific urban legends that are just specific about one urban legend, if that makes any sense.
Welcome back, everyone. I told you guys to let me know which of these urban legend videos you really like, and we will go back and do more on that country. Part 2, part 3. We got flooded with people asking for this exact video. I dropped what I was doing and started working on it right away. Luckily, the Philippines has more scary stories than I'll ever be able to use, but let's do 10 more really creepy ones anyway. My name is Danny Burke, and this is the top 10 scary Filipino urban legends, part 2. Starting off number 10 now, we have Biringan City. This is a mythical city that's set to lie between the real Filipino areas of Gandara, Tarangnan, and Pagsanghan. Here's the thing, it's said to be completely invisible. According to local folklore, the entire population of Biringan City is comprised of supernatural beings. They are shapeshifters who take human form and sometimes invite outsiders like us to visit their city. If you're invited, be aware that time does not move the same in this city. Seconds become minutes, minutes become hours. Some who say they've been...
That sounds dope.
That does, but it could also be scary.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
They've been missing for weeks when almost no time has passed at all for them. The most common reports of the city come from sailors who claim to have seen a dazzling city of lights on moonless nights for a few minutes. They describe it as beautiful, with high-rise buildings and advanced technology. One story said that a Japanese company saw bright tracts of land in the area from a satellite image. Now, they thought it was gold and began setting up sites in a nearby town, but mysterious accidents and mishaps forced them to shut down the operation. Invisible City. Do you guys think that's the perfect cover or a little bit far-fetched? Moving on to number 9 now.
Let us know what you guys think about Biringan City.
What does that make me think of? There's a movie, what is it, where he is in like the bookshelf and his daughter, Inception? No.
I don't know, it makes me think about, which obviously it's completely different, but where he said that they go into the city and they feel like they've only been gone for a few minutes and it's been weeks at the Manifest TV show I'm watching.
Oh, okay.
Now we're going to talk about the Encanto. Some people say these are actually the supernatural beings who inhabit the invisible city we just talked about. Either way, they are believed to live throughout the whole of the Philippines. The Encanto are mythical environmental spirits that are said to have the ability to appear in human form. They're often associated with the spirit of people's ancestors. Physically, they're meant to look like elves, sirens, and other sort of dark magical beings. They are similar to humans. They age, they have males and females, they can suffer from illness and even die. Some appear to be fair in complexion with blue eyes and golden hair. They live in natural homes such as large rocks or trees, but can make these appear like magical palaces to humans. They're enchanting creatures, but everyone who hears the stories knows to avoid them. They can cause fevers and skin diseases or lead travelers into the forest to kidnap them. Next up at number 8 now, we...
If they kidnap them, are they just taking them to the cool city?
Right? Sounds horrible.
Have the Sirena. These creatures are the Filipino version of merman. They are said to be hideous,
sirens,
with scales covering their entire bodies in colors ranging from brown to green, and gill slits positioned in various places.
Is this where sirens came from?
I don't know. I just know that they're very alluring, and then
they're like
crazy,
scary and deadly. I think siren. Like I think the siren mythology is really cool.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
It's dope.
So that they can breathe in the water. Their upper bodies vaguely resemble the form of a man, tapering down to the tail of a fish with scale-encrusted legs and webbed feet. Various legends depict them with powerful green tentacles, fins, webbed hands, claws, and other appendages. They're also said to have very sharp teeth, which make them formidable predators. The scary part is they are hostile to all humans, who they drown in the depths of the sea and then devour as food. Also, many stories involve them causing shipwrecks just to eat the sailors on board. Their bloodthirsty nature, coupled with with their extreme intelligence makes them a terrifying predator. Kind of reminds me of another
You
species
had me
we're all
at
familiar with.
hello.
Next up at number 7 now, we have the
It kind of reminds me of a species we're all kind of familiar with. He was talking about females.
Yeah.
Jeepney Ride. This is a story shared by a Filipino girl about her friend. One day, her friend went home late after finishing off a school project. She took the local jeepney bus because it was late. A jeepney is a popular means of public transport in the Philippines. On the journey, she kept noticing the driver was looking at her in his rearview mirror. She got worried when he began to take turns in the road that he was not meant to. However, she was even more scared of being left in the middle of nowhere and so decided to not say anything. Eventually, though, he took them back onto the correct route and they arrived safely at her destination. He turned to her and said, "I'm sorry if I scared you or startled you. It was not my intention. Could you do me a favor and burn all your clothes when you get home?" He continued saying, "The reason why I kept glancing was because your head was not attached to your body when I looked at you through my rear view mirror. That is why I changed my route a while ago, hoping we could get away from this bad energy. And that's why I want you to burn your clothes when you get home, because I think it is still with you." The girl was obviously shocked by this and ran home, quickly burning her clothes in a fire. A few days later, she heard on the news that the driver had died a day after the incident. It was then that she realized the warning in the mirror was not for her, but for him. Next up at number 6 now, we have the Aswang.
That is
These
creepy.
are
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. So far, out of all these videos that we've done Texas, we've done Malaysia, we've done the Philippines, part 1. This is part 2. This is the best story.
Yeah.
That was actually really good. That needs to be a movie.
Yeah.
That had me kind of crawling.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy. I don't know the way the background looks on this, though. I think this one's going to be creepy as well.
Yeah, I like that last one. That last one had some really good twists and turns to it. So
shapeshifters who live among their human neighbors without us ever knowing. They've been described as a ghoulish combination of a vampire and a werewolf. There seems to be no single coherent solid description of what these creatures look like. Some say it's essentially a werewolf in appearance, others say it's closer to a vampire. The only common theme is that the Aswang are always shapeshifters. They live normal lives among villages and then at night they change. The Aswang morph into various creatures to hunt their prey, which is usually young children or unborn fetuses, which they suck out and devour directly from the mother's womb. Very gross, I know, but it's part of the story when it comes to these hideous creatures. Moving on to number 5 now, we have the Tianak. This is...
wait, wasn't the lichen the actual werewolf?
Yeah.
And
no,
then you had
the lichen was the
hybrid?
Yeah. No.
No, it was the werewolf. You had lichens and then the
well, it's
vampire.
not, yeah, but it's a...
What was the
shift
combination of
into-
the two?
I can't remember.
Did they just call them hybrids?
I think there was a name for it.
Oh. You know what we're talking about. Especially if you're watching
Underworld.
this. Yeah, Underworld. I love those movies.
Yeah.
Those movies were great.
Is otherwise known as the demon child and is another mythical creature in Philippine mythology. They are said to be babies who die before being baptized. After death, they go to a place called limbo, which is neither heaven nor quite hell. They are transformed into evil spirits. The phantasms return to our world as these demonic goblin-like creatures looking to eat their human victims.
So
They can also
cute.
be the offspring of a demon and a human. Most Tianak are said to live in the forest
like,
where if they do see a human, they will transform
Gage
into
from
what
Pet
looks
Sematary.
like a normal baby, just lying on the ground. Naturally, most people will try and aid a helpless baby in the forest. When they get close though, that's when a demon child changes back to its true form and kills the helpless human. Next up at number 4 now we have
Hold on.
I'd punt it.
Aid a baby in the forest? I'm not in the forest in the first place.
But if you're hiking in the forest and you
And there's
see
just
it,
a random baby?
yeah,
I
you
would
just
be
see a baby,
freaking out.
but you'd go help it.
I would probably, but I'd be
And then
like,
it would
okay,
shapeshift
what
and kill you.
happened to your mom and dad?
Yeah, well, once it
I'd be like,
shifts-
where is this giant monster that ate them?
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's a number of things that I'd be freaking out about. I'd be like, yeah, but no, I definitely would go and try to help. them
Valet
out.
University. This place is known as a place of learning around the country, but locals know it has a lot of dark stories within its walls. The main building is said to be haunted by soldiers
beautiful.
who died
Yeah,
bloody
it's
deaths in World War II. The chapel in this building was used by refugee families, many of whom were massacred by Japanese soldiers. Their spirits are said to live in these rooms.
It's very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Western.
No, like almost southern style,
Well,
like
yeah,
a
southern, like a plantation house.
plantation home is what it kind of looks like. I really like that. Okay, let's go back. So
families, many of whom were massacred by Japanese soldiers. Their spirits are said to live in these rooms they called home for a while. In modern times, students have reported strange happenings in the chapel. One of them involved an accounting student visiting the chapel to pray before a big exam. As he settled into one of the pews, she heard footsteps coming towards her, which suddenly stopped. Then she felt a pair of hands on her face, and when she opened her eyes, there before her was a man in a torn and bloodied soldier's uniform. He had a bayonet through his chest and was gurgling for help through the pool of blood in his mouth. When telling this story to her friends, she assured them she knew it was a ghost, but she had never seen anything so real in front of her and just so terrifying. Moving on to number 3 now, we have the Jellyfish Blackout. On December 10th, 1999, in the city of Luzon, most of the lights went out. The city was plunged into darkness. Authorities said a large number of jellyfish had been sucked into the seawater intake of a major power plant near Manila, clogging up the mechanism. Reports began to spread that it wasn't just normal jellyfish that caused the blockage, it was giant mutant ones. They had been sucked up from the bowels of the ocean.
Could you imagine seeing one of those?
Like in person?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine.
that would be creepy.
I can imagine a lot of things.
And then you touch it and then you die.
I got a pretty big imagination.
And as soon as the blockage was cleared, they would begin terrorizing the city's waterways.
Yeah, that'd be
even
terrifying. I'd be
lurking in the
freaking
sewers
out.
below people. Some say that's where they remain.
However, okay, this was an actual horrible story. But I think the small ones are the more dangerous ones. Like, I don't mean that like a snake, you know, or the venom and stuff. But I think like the most like deadly, what are those called?
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish. Thank you. I think the most deadly ones are like, they're really small. I forget what they're called. I literally was watching something on TikTok about them and how they will like just, because there's so many. It's all about the quantity. But I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I'm just following what I learned on TikTok.
The place to learn.
The place to learn.
Today, multiplying in numbers.
Look
Moving on
at
to number 2 now,
the
we have
inappropriate
the
things.
duendes.
The
These
two
are
things on
often called
TikTok.
the dwarves of the Philippines. They are mythical creatures said to live in small hills around the country. The mounds are so small they actually resemble
that's exactly what I was
anthills.
thinking
They
of.
come out at specific times: 6 a.m., 12 p.m., 6 p.m., 12 a.m., and so
Girl,
on.
who
They have
did your
pointed
her?
noses, hideous teeth, long white hair, and very angry eyes. They are said to bring you fortune or bad luck. Most people would rather avoid them altogether, though. One story of them came from a guy who was burning old coconuts on a farm. It was around 6 p.m. He saw something shiny around the bushes. It blinked furiously. As he approached the bushes, something crawled out of it towards him. Standing there was a duende. It offered him a gold ring and told him to keep it, even though he didn't want to. He remembered his mum had told him that if he ever sees anything out of the ordinary when interacting with one of these creatures, just leave it be. Then the creature snapped its fingers and disappeared. Some people say if you take something from them, they will always ask for something in return, and it will be a whole lot of trouble for you to get it. And finally, at number 1 now, we have the capri. He is also known as the smoking monster. This legendary creature is said to be as big as a 2-story building and hairy all over. It lies dormant in an old large tree in the forest. Generally speaking, they are friendly creatures, but only up to a point. You see, the capri love to smoke tobacco. They almost always have some sort of cigar burning away. When travelers go to the mountains or the woods, they should be wary of the capri. If he sees a beautiful woman walking past his tree, he will blow smoke out until it becomes an intoxicating cloud around her. At that point, she will lose consciousness and he will kidnap her. If she tries to fight or if someone tries to save her, the capri will get violent. Likewise, the way to make a capri very angry is to destroy his home or indeed any tree in that forest. When loggers mow down a whole forest and smoke is seen spiraling up from the ashes, they say the cloud of the capri is looking for its next victim. Well, there we go.
That might make a decent movie.
It's very rapey kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, knock her out, take her home. It's like, Were these all bar stories back in the day?
Yeah. No, I think that last one could be a decent movie, though.
Yeah, I could see that.
It could be a terrible movie as well, depending.
Oh, yeah. It depends on how much their budget is.
Yeah.
And who's writing it, for that matter.
Yeah, guys, let us know if there's any other urban legends that you want us to react to. If there's any urban legends that are like so lengthy that they could make one video.
Yeah.
As opposed to listening to multiple.
And less in depth.
And not necessarily urban legends, but really scary stories. That would be
I mean, which I think most scary stories start out as
urban legends.
Some form of urban legend. It's kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
That's 100% urban.
Yeah, it wasn't in Texas. It was in like Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was
something
somewhere
like that.
weird, but yet you can drive down I-35 and the house that they used is there, and
Yeah.
you're like,
Okay.
it's as real as the Texas Steakhouse,
Right.
which is based out of, I want to say, Cleveland or something like that, but their first location was in Indiana,
Yeah.
so it makes no sense.
But yeah, guys, so let us know in the comments. Throw them down there. Also, in the description, there's a link to our Discord. Go to the Discord, throw them in our video suggestion box, and chat with everybody and have some fun in there, too.
I agree. And with that being said,
My name's Miles.
my name is Fez.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace.
Out.